Real YouTubers talk about reaction content related to Charizard. Today we are looking at False Swipe Gaming video. I don't know. I normally think of the first two lines before I actually start. Maybe I'll do full screen actually. Before I actually start how is this stupid box not gone yet? It's been like 10 minutes. It's been like less than a minute. It's been like a minute. What are these, you might ask? What are these things? That's the light coming through the blinds. Okay, anyway. There it goes away. So, there I was, thinking about what should I record? You know, Crown Tundra's coming soon. I can't, we're not quite at Crown Tundra, but we're in this rough spot where it's like, it's going to be here so soon, but it's not here yet. So I was thinking, you know, once Crown Tundra comes, we're going to be doing a lot of Crown Tundra related content. Why don't we, you know, take a little break from Crown Tundra content and let's talk about something else. And I realized, you know, I might not have as much time for reaction content once Crown Tundra comes out. So for now, why don't we react to something that people have been requesting, which is False Swipe Gaming. So False Swipe Gaming is a really cool channel that does really good high-level content, in my opinion. On YouTube, you're not always rewarded for making good content. And so I remember, I've known about False Swipe Gaming for years, and I was always really impressed by the quality of work and the level of research that was done into the Pokemon that were talked about. For those of you who don't know, False Swipe Gaming does a series that I don't know what it's officially called, but I think of it as the how good was X Pokemon actually, how good was Blastoise actually, how good was Gengar actually, how good was Charizard actually, which is what we're doing today. And so, yeah, so they do this kind of like this history of Charizard throughout the years, or whatever Pokemon they're talking about. And it's always been really, the level of detail and the level of research that, at least for the VGC stuff, which is what I'm familiar with, it's always been very high. I do think it's funny. Later on, you know, I've been watching False Swipe Gaming for years, but I only recently found, or not recently, but in the last year or so, I found out, or I became friends with somebody who does a lot of the work for the scripting, which is Zane. So, yeah, so that's kind of a funny thing, but not surprising. If you know Zane, you're not surprised to see that he has high quality work. But anyway, so today we're going to be talking about Charizard. Yeah, I wanted to react to a False Swipe Gaming video, and so I asked Zane which one he recommended it. He said this one should be good. So, yeah, so I think that's pretty much all I want to say. This is going to be a competitive history. I'll kind of give my input as well, but for a lot of the single stuff, I am just genuinely curious.
Charizard
so
is one of the most iconic Pokemon in the whole series, rivaling the popularity of even Pikachu.
Wow.
In both the Origin and main series animes, Charizard is seen as the ace of Red and Ash's teams. Until Greninja showed up, but we don't talk about that. In competitive play, where Pokemon teams are optimized for victory, did Charizard actually suck as bad as competitive players say? Let's find out. Welcome to competitive Pokemon history, where we go over Pokemon's journey through the metagame over the years.
Wait, I thought is this Charizard or is this Dragonite? Somebody tell me. It looks like Dragonite to me.
We'll briefly cover any notable Charizard information.
This is only up through Gen 6.
And doubles throughout the generations, including both Smogon and VGC formats. In addition to this, only significant changes in Charizard will be covered, as this video would be too long otherwise. Alright, let's get started. Beginning in Gen 1 from 1996 to 1998, tournaments for the first generation of Pokemon games were held during an event known as Nintendo Cup. In this tournament, players were
I actually don't know about this.
Teams of 6 Pokemon, but battles would be conducted in 3v3 singles matches.
Wait, that's so cool.
Choosing from their pool of 6.
Total level must not exceed level. Wait, that's so interesting. Wait, this is such a cool. I never knew about this. Wow. Okay.
Many websites online indicate that the optimal set for Charizard back then was the Sword Dancing set, which consisted of Sword Dance, Earthquake or Rock Slide, Slash or Hyper Beam, and Fire Blast. Unfortunately, Charizard had two banes of its existence in the meta.
Aerodactyl?
The first one being Moltres, outclassing it in raw power, and the second one being Starmie, who could one-shot Charizard whenever he began to set up. Even though Charizard...
They should have just maxed the Charizard and then you'd max the Airstream and not spend the Starmie.
Sword Dance and a decent base 100 speed stat, he could still be vaporized by faster Pokemon like Starmie and Jolteon on the turn to set up Sword Dance.
Okay.
Charizard had a decent damage output, but was ultimately underutilized because he was checked by very common Pokemon.
I mean, not surprising, right? Charizard needed... In order for Charizard to actually be good, it needed a lot of help. Without its hidden ability, Mega Forms, and Gigantamax form, at different points in this history, you would never expect to see Charizard actually be good.
2 years later, in Gen 2, Charizard got a break in the meta with the introduction of the move Belly Drum.
Whoa.
This move, combined with Charizard's diverse move pool, gave Charizard an edge over Moltres because not only did he have a
Moltres is lower than Charizard?
Belly Drum, but he could
I guess
also
that makes
hit
sense.
more Pokemon for super effective damage thanks to access to Rock Slide and Earthquake. During this time, Charizard was B tier because after a Belly Drum, he could one-shot anything besides bulky water types. He could also one-shot Snorlax with a Hyper Beam after a Belly Drum, who was SSS tier at the time.
Oh!
However, he never got higher than B tier because of Pokemon like Starmie, who could still outspeed.
It's so funny to me that like Starmie is the counter to Charizard. Like right now we consider like any rock type, like Tyranitar or whatever. Tyranitar existed in Gen 2, right? But no, it's Starmie.
Even after a
That's
Belly
funny.
Drum. In addition to this, Belly Drum also sacrifices half of the user's.
Yeah, I was gonna say Belly Drum is not like a
in
super
exchange
consistent
for a
strategy.
×4 physical attack increase. This means Charizard could still faint from one Starmie Surf. This also means Charizard was only useful very, very late game, when faster Pokemon and bulky water types were gone. Charizard was essentially the cleanup crew during a battle. Moving on
That makes
to
sense.
Generation 4, Charizard became more effective as an all-out special
Right,
attacker.
because now you actually have
Of Stealth
physical
Rock,
special split.
Charizard and
Oh.
many other Pokemon,
I
unfortunately,
love the way Gen 4 looks as an aside. Like I like this
but
image.
with the introduction of Stealth
I actually played singles back in Gen 4 is when I started playing competitive singles. So like yeah, this image, I don't know, I'm having nostalgia.
Rocks, Charizard and many other Pokemon unfortunately went from underused to never used in other competitive single formats, such as Smoking. This is because Charizard is a fire flying type,
Yep.
two types that are both weak to rock. Upon entry, Charizard loses 50% of his health when Stealth Rocks are up, making Belly Drum useless, since Belly Drum also sacrifices 50% of its maximum health. This also means after just 2 switches while Stealth Rocks are up, Charizard faints by switching in, having lost all of his health.
Wait,
It
Stealth
should be
Rock's
noted
rounds
that
up?
Charizard and singles could also utilize
Wait,
Dragon Dance.
Stealth Rock rounds up? Does anyone know? I know this might be niche for people, but if you look, it should have 297 divided by 2 is 198.
All of its
But
health.
it takes.
Rocks are up.
Hang on.
Charizard faints by
So it should have. Oh wait, 148. It took 148 damage, yeah, but then switches it again and it dies? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Charizard faints by
297 minus 149 is 148, yeah. Am I crazy? Wait a second. Wait a second. What's going on? I'm doing this. 297 minus study math wrong, 149 is 148. It took 148 damage the first time.
having lost all of its health.
Someone explain this to me. Someone explain this to me right now because I'm about to throw up.
Rocks are up. Charizard faints by
148 and then it takes...
having lost all of its health.
Why did it take 148 the first time and 149 the second time? I actually feel physically ill.
It should be noted that Charizard and singles could also utilize Dragon Dance. However, there are way better options during this time. But that's okay because in Gen 6, Charizard finally reached top tier status in both Smogon singles and VGC doubles formats, with the introduction of its Mega forms. In Smogon singles, both Mega Charizard X and Y were very big threats due to the massive damage output both could accomplish. Mega Charizard X became one of the best Dragon Dance users in the format, being able to OHKO pretty much anything in the tier after just one Dragon Dance. This is because not only does Charizard X have a massive attack base stat upon Mega Evolving, but it also has the Tough Claws ability, giving contact moves like Flare Blitz an extra 33% in.
I wonder if Caesar's gonna survive.
Gen 6 VGC up until VGC 2016, Charizard Y shined in particular because of his access to a stab sun boosted Heat Wave. Heat Wave in doubles hits both of your opponents simultaneously, and thanks to Charizard's massive special attack stat, not a lot of Pokemon, even the top tier ones, could survive a Heat Wave. And just like in singles, Charizard Y could vaporize water-type Pokemon with access to Solar Beam, being able to threaten common VGC Pokemon such as Tyranitar and Rotom, so long as he can set up the Drought safely. But both Mega Charizards are not without their weaknesses. Both keep Charizard's base 100 speed stat, which means it could still be outsped by...
Base 100 isn't bad, but especially like back in the day, in 2015, 2014, like base 100 is the same as Kangaskhan, and like that was a big hump that like Pokemon had to get over. Like if you were faster than base 100, you're faster than Kangaskhan, and like also being base 100 means you're forced to run max speed and you still just speed tie. Because Kangaskhan was like a big deal.
Defensive options depend on the Mega. Both Mega forms can be walled by a few set of bulky Pokemon.
That still does a lot of damage.
Both Mega forms,
Wait, that killed?
especially Charizard Y, do not like being hit by rocks. In singles in particular, Stealth Rock was still a problem for Charizard because it still loses 50% of its health before it Mega Evolves. However, despite these setbacks, the absurdly high damage output from both Mega Evolutions made Charizard one of the best competitive Pokemon in the metagame. It only took 6 generations, but it's cool to see Charizard is finally as powerful in the games as he's depicted in the anime. So did Charizard actually suck? Well, he did get bought by Stealth Rocks for 2 generations, but the other 4 he was decent, and one of those he was even top tier. So I'm gonna say, nah, not really. Just pretty decent for at least 4 out of 6 generations. And hopefully he'll be good in the 7th generation too. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Oh, I think maybe I watched the wrong one.
Little overview of Charizard and competitive Pokemon. I also hope you thought it was interesting how...
I think maybe there... I wonder... Hang on, I'm actually curious. Is there an updated one of these? Oh, it doesn't look like it. Hang on. No, I think that was the right one. Okay, I guess there just isn't one updated for... Okay, I guess there isn't an updated one for Generation 7. But yeah, I like Charizard personally. I used it to win a regional in 2018 with Charizard X, and also I got top 16 at Worlds in 2015 with Charizard X. But yeah, basically, I guess if anyone's curious, in Generation 7, Charizard fell off a bit. It wasn't legal in 2017, and it wasn't very good in 2019, because that was with like Primal Groudon, Primal Kyogre. I actually brought Specs, or maybe it was Scarf, I forget, Charizard, like no Mega Evolution to a regional, but I didn't do very well. So yeah, it wasn't very good. In 2018, I feel like it must have had some play. Charizard Y. I don't think Charizard X had a ton of play, as I recall. I did win a regional with it. I think somebody else won a regional with it as well, but I actually am not positive if it was that year or if it was back in 2015. I don't know. Yeah, it was used a little bit, but it wasn't meta by any means. And then in 2019, Generation 8, Charizard is actually really good. For those of you who don't know, it gets its Gigantamax form, which was actually really good. It won the first regional of Dallas. It's been on a lot of prominent teams thanks to Torkoal plus Charizard giving you Charizard gives you a strong Sun mode out of Trick Room, and then Torkoal's really good in Trick Room, so you kind of have both things. And obviously Sun is really strong with Venusaur as well. So yeah, Charizard overall was this is probably this or 2014 or 2015 have been its best years in my opinion. But 2020 is you could definitely, if you're a big Charizard fan, this is a good year for it between its Gigantamax for me and, well, yeah, primarily. I guess the format favors it as well, but yeah, primarily it's Gigantamax for me. So, yeah, that was interesting. I hope you all enjoyed. It's cool to see it's also cool to see the history of some of the Pokemon outside of VGC. I didn't know anything about the Nintendo Cup. Is that what it was called? I never heard of that before, so that was really interesting. So yeah, False Life has a ton of videos like this, so if you want to see me react to other ones, let me know, because I really like these. I like watching them. They're very educational, but also entertaining, so I'm down to watch more of them. So if you want to see more of these, or if there's any Pokemon in particular you want me to react to, let me know. But yeah, until next time, peace.